You heard it here, folks. The inside scoop.
I missed you, Mortar Mike. I need to collab with you more often.
What is going on? It is go time. This is Mortar Mike, and this is yet another Watcher of Realms video. Today, I come to you with something from the fans. But first, I must tell you about the amazing guest that we have here. None other than the amazing, the awesome, the Watcher of Realms queen, and now making amazing content for Fateless Gaming with the new game, Godforge. Ivy Lee, how are you today?
Hey, glad to be here. I'm glad you liked my idea. I kind of sparked this, didn't I?
Yeah. Like, I mean, as soon as you said like, hey, it should be a collab, I was like, yeah, I'm doing it. And for those of y'all that want to know what is the collab about, I asked you, the players of Watchers of Realms, for your help, because I'm making a video that I'm sending straight to the devs. There may be more parts because there's a lot of questions, but I asked for a wish list of what you would like to see in the game. We're in year 2. The game is still fresh, but you got to know that they're making a lot of content for it. And I want to say, let's put our hat in the ring. And is that the right phrase? It might be the wrong phrase. Let's put our hat in the ring and yeah. And let's tell them what we want to see in the game. Let's take the initiative and let's make more content happen. I'm glad that I'm able to do this with Ivy, because one thing that Ivy's awesome at is community. I mean, every time she does something, she's one of the main people that keeps the communities going. So who else to start this with than Ivy?
I'm excited. Let's do the thing. What do you got? What's the dealio?
So I'm gonna switch over to this screen. I'll change it and edit it later. But the question number one, first I want to give Kirex a special thank you for helping me on my stream, because I was showing it like 2 frames a year and he helped me get it to where it's fast now. So happy for that. Number 1 is from Varth FTW, and he said the idea of rivals in PvP, or rematching people who beat you in arena while you were gone. They would give you more rewards for beating them. What do you think of that idea, like a little rivalry system?
Yeah, I remember, I think it was Raid. It all blends together now after all the games I've played, but I think it was Raid, where you could look at your defenses, and if someone beat you or like attacked you, you could attack them back. It's just a button that says like, I don't even remember what does it say? I don't remember. But there was a rematch button, or I feel like it was Raid, but it could have been Awakened Chaos Era or something else.
I like that idea because it incentivizes you to play arena more. I think that makes sense in the arena realm. Like, oh, they beat me. Oh, they beat me because my guy was on gear. Let me put my gear on him and go back and battle him or something like that, because it's happened to us all, right?
Yeah, I like that idea. And maybe it's a free attempt versus your normal attempts you have to pay for.
That's it. Okay, you're cooking. I like it.
A rematch button, and then it's free.
Yeah.
That's
okay. I hope you're listening, devs, because we're about to when I tell you, I've been looking forward to this for like 4 days now. And once I got this list, I was like, okay, it's good, because everybody was just pouring in ideas. Let me get at number 2. This is Shadow Bahamut. I know somebody's playing Final Fantasy and mad at me right now because I'm probably saying it wrong, but I apologize. But he said he's new to the game, so still learning, but would love to see more gear variety that can make some more viable choices, like lifesteal or adding to freeze, plague, poison, bleed, burn style gear. So crowd control gear sets. What do you think about that? Do you think that's something that they're going to be adding into the game, or what's your perspective?
I literally just said that in my video for Dev Insights that I'm about to post after this collab about gear sets, because someone just commented in the Dev Insights about, oh, there could be like an increase, like to increase attack by 25% and then an ignore defense or magic resist or whatever. But I was like, yeah, and also in Hell Hades and Fastidious' video, they talked about that. Like, I think Fastidious' example was Harpoon. He hits 3 times on his basic attack. He does nothing else that's important. So if he has a stun set that gives like a 50% chance to proc a stun with his basic attack, all of a sudden you could use Harpoon in Titanic Ruins versus literally nowhere. So like, I think that's what we love about Raid as such a... I mean, it's an older game that's done a lot, of course, but the variety of building a hero for their, like, the gear sets around them, a shield set, poison sets, like you said, like just different stuff, like that isn't just basic stats or, you know, increased damage, whatever, less damage, okay. Like, it's like, yeah, something that makes them have a different utility that maybe brings other characters some value.
I like the concept where the stuff they add to the game brings the characters to life, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like even Cerberus with like, what is it, Lunacy Visor? Like he can't heal himself, but now he can, and now it's a different hero.
Yes, exactly. That's a good example.
It's funny you said that because you did get a shout out in one of these questions. This is me like pre-answering them in my head, but this one is from Jagged Journey, X at the beginning, X at the end. He said, can we do something with the fusion shards? Maybe they can be exchanged in the same amount of shard fragments of epic or legendary soul stones. And I let him know, well, I didn't let him know, I'm letting you know now, letting you know now that this is actually something that is currently in the works. They've talked about it already, and they talked about it in the surveys where they give a lot of hints of stuff that's coming into the game. If you go into the surveys,
I never do the surveys. I'm so bad. I'm like,
because it's just a red dot, and after a while it disappears. But I went in there, and they asked about that topic, and they were like, "What do you think about extra shard fragments? What would you like to do with them?" They gave multiple answers to do it, and this is like over a month ago. I also mentioned, if anybody wants to get an insight of what stuff is happening soon, they should be listening to Ivy's Dev Insights, because sometimes people don't even know to go on Discord to find them, but there's a video of Ivy reading them to you and telling you about stuff that they're going to be making happen in the game. It is a good fast forward button to learn stuff early. So I do watch those like almost religiously. Every time it's out, I'm watching it, and I'm hoping that Lily's in the video too. It is in the works, but I know that because they've made it available in different parts of the game.
That's one of those things in the Dev Insights. They're like, oh yeah, we'll work on it in the future. They've been saying that for 6 months. So you're like, how many?
Exactly.
Like for a year. And the weird thing is, you're talking about like the fusion shards, right? Like the shard summon events. They kind of made it sound like the opposite. In the last Dev Insights, they actually didn't say that for the first time in any Dev Insight. Maybe they changed their mind because they said, you can get the heroes shards the next time their event comes around. That's all they said. Not we're working on finding a way to. So I'm like, what? And changed it. No. Why did they revert their answer?
This is what happens in the staff meetings. But you know that because of the insights, there's a lot of stuff that's public and you can learn it by just checking up on it. But I love that you do that and you bring it to the forefront, because a lot of players don't know.
Yeah, it's for those people that don't like to read a wall of text, which it definitely is. I try to.
And then you pick out the ones that are less repetitive too. So it's kind of curated.
Yeah, they'll say that they'll answer the same one 100 times, or they just say they'll show something but give literally no feedback. So I'm like, there's no point to even read that. Or they just like that over like. I think my most common phrase is, "Are they drunk when they write this?" Because like it used to be like that doesn't even remotely answer the question, or like they'll respond in a way that's like, what?
It's so funny you said that, because that actually leads to something from earlier when we did like the Q&A. I think it was you and Fastidious, if I'm not mistaken. I had a question and you guys asked it, which I'm happy, but the answer was different than my question. So I asked them, do they want to make a customized champion where you could draw your own hero and put it, and
they
it goes like
didn't
a competition.
The point of that one.
Yeah. And so they said they would make your own map, which is still something nice. But I will tell you, one of the things I love is when, I forgot the hero's name, it's the poison guy in Raid. When they put him into the game, I forgot his complete name, but he gives like 4 poisons when he comes on the map. I can't remember his name. But it was a character that was drawn by somebody who plays the game, and he got put into the game. So
Cavalax was the one that was that's what I don't think they understood that we meant just not, doing community art contests cool, but like we meant actually put that kid in the game, like
that would
one
be
that's
nice.
For real, right? When you asked that question, you meant for real, like you pick the winner and that really becomes a character. Yeah, that.
I thought that was one of my favorite things.
I don't think they realized we meant for real.
Yeah, so I may actually end up asking again. So since you're here, Devs, you hear me saying it. We want to be able to design a hero that can be put into the game. That is all. Make it a small circle again. But so number 3 is from X Mason X. A lot of you guys like to put X's at the beginning and the end of your names. His is very straightforward.
It's our emo screen names from the 2000s.
That's it. AOL chat rooms.
Exactly. You remember.
Mason is very straightforward. He said, give us AMR 21. So
that was in the Dev Insights today as well. That was same one. Just again mentioning it, but they've been mentioning that for like 6 months as well. So I don't know when it's coming.
Exactly. It's like you know it's happening. You just don't know when it's happening
Someday,
or where
maybe.
on the queue it is. I also added a caveat to this. I would love for there to be a chance, even if it's a small chance, to also get some gleaming meteorites as drops in it as well. I think if you get to 21, there should be some way to get it. Maybe not as much as
true,
like Vort Ref.
Yeah, a low chance. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's also
like
good because
the same thing back to like the seeding too, where you're like, okay, I got one. I'm on a good run. Let's go.
Look, the seed life is real,
I'm
y'all.
totally buying into that. It's so true. Oh my god.
I just did it yesterday and got 4 more. Like it does. It's inconsistent, but when it does happen, it pays off very nicely. So for anybody that wants an idea of what to do to be safe, set it for 100 runs and do 15. If the first 15 look promising, let it finish. That's the way I do it. That's a nutshell for me. This is from Ajax the Great. He said improvements to the game. He wants filters. And what he means by filters is we need better filters to be able to search heroes that contain certain buffs like stuns, bleed, burns, etc. Yeah. So I do think that is necessary in the game. Thankfully, it's available. There's some websites that do it. I noticed that I think Dan does it. If I'm not mistaken, Fasty's new site does that, or it's something that he's going to be adding into it.
Yeah, I think he's going to add it if he doesn't already have it. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's available outside of the game, which is great, but it would be awesome to do it directly in the game.
Yeah, for sure. Especially early on. Like and honestly, the more and more heroes they add, the more I cannot remember who does what. Like wait, it's like it's even worse. So
defense reduction and damage reduction always hurt me when I try to find it. It's like it feels like the same thing when I read it until I realize that champion doesn't have what I'm looking for.
If you're a new player and you get your first Scarlet Hunt and you're like, oh, characters that do bleed. Okay, who do I have that does bleed? And there's no way to just look that up.
I don't even play with bleed in this game because I don't have Salazar, so I just don't even entertain it. I let it go. The next one is from yours truly, Mortar Mike. I had this one. And also, if you have one too that you're like, I would love for this to happen, feel free to mention Ivy. Yes. And I didn't say this earlier, but since we're doing this list, I want to hear your top 3 out of this list of what you want to see added to the game or changed in the game. Put them in the comment section. Let me know what your 3 that you've heard so far. What are the top ones so I can let them know. Say, hey, go in the comment section too. It's in there too. The next one is from, like I said, from me. I'm talking in circles here. A map in the game. This may be more campaign style, but a map in the game where one of the mechanics is that it rotates your champions, the tile or the platform that they're on, by 90 degrees in certain map transitions. So, and you have to build comps that adapt to the new map layout. So what if your mage aims this way and goes upwards now? Can they take on what enemies are coming in, or are they misaligned? Is this a good spot where now? Yeah, not Sadie and Lust and Dolores and Demi, all these characters with that plus range. Like, can they now be really viable for this type of content? Like, I would love to see them make something really creative like that. Maybe they're in a lava dome and like the ground erupts and it turns the platform they're on or something. I would like to see how that be played out. I think campaign's the best place to start though. Or exclusive content.
Yeah, I like that. That's clever.
Yeah. I want to see it. I just like the mechanics. I think the game has good bones, and it's a tower defense. And I haven't played many tower defense games where they actually rotate your tower. So interesting. That's a me thing. I'm a nerd. It happens. The next one, this is from Varth, and this is funny because you might actually know this one too. He said he wants the ability to have arena screenshots of your gear so that you can freely change it without needing to have 5 heroes, always best gear every time you log in and log out. As time would have it, that is actually on the way right now. That is on the way in the game. I don't know if it's in this current update, but they already said they're doing exactly that. That's what happens when you go to the insights and stuff too. That's kind of information that you learn.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Exactly. The dev insights were like, we will adapt them to various gameplay over time or something. It kind of said, I don't remember the last one.
It's like it's
gonna
happen.
It was a little bit vague, but yeah.
Like, it's gonna happen, but our foot's gonna be right out the door just in case it's not now. Just letting you know. We're here. Our foot's in the door. We're here. The next one, so this is a really interesting one. This is involving summons. This is from Sky Rose, and she was there during the GVG faction brawls, which was crazy. But she said if we pull 3 Legos that are not the one we wish for, the 4th Lego we pull should be the wished hero. So she's talking about having a hero wish list, and she said could have the wish list for Epics too. Here's my take on that. I think it's a great idea, but I think you have to keep the RNG in there. If you don't have the RNG in there, people are going to just summon A5 everything the first weekend because there are whales that are capable of doing it. But I have a solution though, and you let me know what you think of it. Recommended that the wish list give you a 3x chance to pull that hero, and there'd be a cooldown for a period of time if you pull that hero, of you being able to get the 3x again, or just make it a token system, and when you pull that hero, that token expires.
I've seen wish list type things where there might be a pool and you could put 1 as your wish list, but once you get that hero, the wish list is over. You've already won. You know, like that's no longer a boosted thing. Just like when you pull a guaranteed hero. So that could be treated like that.
Yeah, see, the guaranteed heroes are the best. Like, if you know you're getting them, it's a good chance you're getting your Legos. Exactly.
You know you're getting 2 legendaries for the price of $250 no matter what you do. At least, at worst. Ideally 3 if you play your cards right. So, or at least 2 that you really want.
That's what we all expect it to be. We expect it to be like 3 or 4 every time.
Or like 5, and then you're like, nope, never, nope, just barely hit pity every time. Yeah, guarantees hate me. They're like content creator luck. I'm like, go watch my Gwendolyn summons.
Oh my gosh. You speak of CC, I don't know what has been going on recently. It has been madness just over here recently. I think in the past, like, I mean, not including this recording, but within like a 10-day window, I'll pull 6 lords. So it's gotten really interesting.
Oh yeah, I heard you say it. Yeah, that's crazy.
So I'm like, hey, it exists. Maybe, I don't know. Don't get mad at me. I love y'all. Don't get mad at me.
It goes in waves. I get really lucky on my 15 times where I get like 4 legendaries in 100, and then I hit pity for the next 2 summoning sessions in a row. Or you know,
exactly.
Who knows? It's just RNG is RNG.
Oh, I actually made RNGesus and I put him into the game, so he's here. He's not on this, but I might have to throw him into the video. That was a good idea. I think they had to keep RNG in there. If they're gonna make some kind of a wish list, it's gotta still have RNG, or it's gonna be abused by those that have the money to just throw at the game until they get A5 everything they want, because that's all they're waiting for. It's a way to guarantee to get those heroes faster. The next one, this is kind of like a update to just general stuff in the game. This is from Ajax the Great. He said, it would be nice if there were map info page highlights where you can tell where you deploy your troops. So if you ever gone to play a game, and you look at the map and you don't see the tiles where you can put your heroes down, so you have no idea what to bring to the battle. Oh yeah, you can't
tell where the ground tiles actually are even. That's been a complaint since the beginning, is like, you can see the map layout, but where can you actually put people? We don't know.
Find out after you've put this team together and curated it, and you come in there and it's like
tiles to the ground. You're like,
that's 2 ground tiles.
Yeah.
And Keurig said he mentioned it's already in the tutorial, so it may be something that's not that difficult for them to do. So I'll be interested to see how they do that.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. I got one more. Trust me, I have a lot, but I don't want to make this a super long session. It can be, you know me, it can be.
And I thought of one too, so.
Oh, do you want to do it now, or do you want to do mine next? Your choice.
You do yours. I think it's good. Whoever you do these collabs with, let them know ahead of time to think of one thing they really want or something.
Okay.
Might as well, right? Why not?
I'm with that. Let me see if this transition works. Does this work? Yes, it does. It does. That's cool. I didn't know that worked. I was hoping it did. It does. Good. So I'll do that when you ask your question. This is live editing, y'all. This is what we do. CLS Moon, this is a funny one. CLS Moon 739 says, I want the camp stuff. He wants the camp update to come to the game.
Oh yeah, all that. Yeah, they haven't done that to Forerunner yet. From Forerunner yet.
Yeah, it is actually, to be fair, it's fun. It's not as time consuming as you think. It's just a few button taps. And once you max it, I would recommend you max it. But once you do, you literally only have to tap like 1 or 2 things to get all the rewards a day. Somebody else asked, I would love to get a free chest for like being logged out for a certain point of time and coming back. That's essentially what it is. That's literally what it is. It's free material
it's
for
like an
coming
idle
back.
RPG reward.
Yeah, it really is. Now, I will say it's cluttered right now. I think there should be an area like the war room that all that stuff is in. That's a me thing.
Okay.
The anniversary with the camp update was looking crazy. It was looking crazy.
So they actually mentioned that in the Dev Insights that I read today as well. There was a comment about wood, like not getting enough or something, or like, and I was like, oh, the camp. Like, to be fair, it feels like based on how many updates I saw on Forerunner server and the notes in the Dev Insights, I feel like people just hate it and they're trying to perfect it. And so they haven't released it to global yet because people just don't like it. And so, but I was like, but that's good because I feel like they're really listening to people's feedback before they make it global. So that's a good thing that they're taking the time to make it better before they decide to put it out.
That's a good point. Like sometimes they don't put it out because it's not the right thing. We want it, but then we have the same issue of this champion's this, or this content's not there, or why is there, oh my gosh, the Lucia situation. Why is the debuffs not working right? Which, by the way, I think he got fixed and he's doing great now. Yeah. This is why, let it cook. Let it cook. Now, no pun intended, because you can cook on it. But the only thing I want to say that should change in there is in the mine area, the cave area, the mine shaft, you should have the option, not that option, but a chance to get mythical artifact essence shards and refined crystal shards because you're in a cave. I would think that would be a kind of cool incentive to get added in there. That's all I have to add to that. I want to see it happen. I do hope that players aren't pessimistic. You're literally getting free rewards. It's one, and you got background battles that actually, and it's real background battles now. I like the idea of it. Yeah, the rewards could be better, but let's be clear. The rewards in this game are way better than many experiences most of us have had. So I would say that. Of course, I want more, but last but most certainly not least, we have one of the answers from Ivy Lee of what she thinks is a good adjustment or tweak or update to the game, something she wants to see in the game. I'm going to give you the full screen here, Ivy. If you don't want to, let me know. I can watch your expression.
It's fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Ivy.
I'm just extra derpy, guys. If you don't already know, I have Bell's palsy at the moment. My face is temporarily half frozen. It's temporary. It's getting better. So if I look like a derpy pirate, that's why. Okay.
You've been cooking. I mean, I would tell you though, the recovery has been awesome because like you've gone from like all these different phases and improved. So kudos to you because my mother actually had Bell's palsy. So that's why I'm kind of like mindful of that. So like when you mentioned it, I was like, oh yeah, you can make it through that. So that's kind of cool to watch the process happen. So kudos to you and the fam.
Just only have half Botox.
This is only stuff you wouldn't know if somebody told.
Then you're never gonna unsee it. You're like, God, that's how you're gonna know when my face is normal again. Either when I have wrinkles on both sides or no wrinkles at all because I got Botox.
You heard it here, folks. The inside scoop.
Okay.
Oh, that was gold.
I missed you, Mortar Mike. I need to collab with you more often.
You just gave me a Fateless exclusive. You control your own fate. You can do what you desire. Look, I'm all about the vibes and enjoying ourselves. So like, I like doing this, and it's always great to do with people that enjoy what they do. Even though we do a lot of work, it's fun to just make an atmosphere where people can just say, you know what? Let me like kick back or like make a sandwich or something, like watch this content, or let me like grab some popcorn because I just finished a day at work or I'm on lunch break and I want to enjoy what people are enjoying, that we're enjoying the same thing. So yeah, I had to get Ivy for it. And of course I gave her full screen here over there. I want to know, what is it that you would like to see added to the game?
I was actually going to say something that I know is coming, but that could be better based on the way that they've said it. But I had another thought.
Okay.
So they need to change the calendar. They need to tell us in advance the next month of summoning events.
Ooh.
And I think this would benefit them instead of hurt them. Because if you know that in 2 weeks, okay, let's say there's an ancient summoning event right now that sucks or whatever. And then in 2 weeks, it's who you really want. You're going to buy out that shop if you're a whale, a kraken. You're going to buy them out this week. And you're going to wait and then instead of waiting until the good event comes to buy your summons, because not everybody pays attention to the leaks, we know. And then if they told us these events ahead of time and like an update, like, okay, here's your 8th August summoning events are going to be these whole week. Just tell us every week. People are going to go crazy every week in the shop that are spenders, because they're going to be prepping for the big event that they know they want an A5 character of, or that they want something super special. Like if we knew it that much in advance, you're going to prepare for it. And then it's more friendly to the free-to-play people also, because they know they can save. So I feel like they might think that they would lose money because people would only summon during certain events, yes, but they'll spend during every weekend.
I remember the Lust event. When we found out in advance the Lust event was coming, everybody got ready for it.
Stuff early,
Yeah, people bought stuff. They saved this stuff to be ready to get the best out of the big moment in the game. Yeah, and I got like an A1 out of it. So I was like, look, I got ready. This is before my gems even mattered. So none of this stuff added to it.
I could give a direct example as someone who has been spending more than they should recently. If it wasn't for the leakers telling us about like the Praetus banner way ahead of time, I wouldn't have spent the previous ancient banner before. But because I knew that was coming, I bought every good offer in the shop like 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time because I knew it was coming. Like I know firsthand how that affected me, and I'm hardly even a kraken in the sea of krakens. And then people would appreciate the communication, which we always talk about, and the honesty of like they're telling us ahead of time so that free-to-play people can be more careful about where they use. But also, I really, really do think that they would make more money too. I think it really helps.
I agree with you on that. What you kind of don't want the players to always experience is something last minute. I'm sorry, I still got you the screen. Something happening last minute, and then they always got to buy the good packs and the crap packs. You kind of get done with doing that after a while, and after a while you just say, I'm tired of playing this game because that's how it is. But if you have a chance to know the good stuff is coming, now you have a reason to say, okay, I'll get it in advance because I know the cool stuff is on the way. And then the other one comes and you know that you're getting the best deal. Even for those that do play in the game, that's a big deal to them, to know that, hey, I can get the best of the best of my investment to what I enjoy playing. To even say like, hey, Lust is coming in 2 weeks, like, even that heads up, like not just like 4 days before the event goes live and the trailer comes out. Which, by the way, there's like 3 versions of that trailer.
Don't leave it to the leakers to have to leak. Like, just tell us yourself. God.
And the cool part about it is the leakers still can leak, but it's like, okay, they confirmed it. They put, hey, this is coming out in 3 weeks. And then we see that in 3 weeks, it's coming like 3 days later. It's still a win-win for both. So it's nice. Yeah, that's good. Okay, that was a good finish. I like that one. A full month calendar.
Or not even a calendar, just at least like, I guess, an event post that's like how they do like your August event preview, do like your August summoning schedule. I don't know.
I'm so glad you said that. So this wasn't one that was on my list, but I say this pretty often. I want for this game to have more what's next in Watcher of Realms videos. I want them to announce more of this because they make a lot of changes in this game. The devs do a lot of work of like updating stuff and bringing new stuff in. And then it gets regulated to like a picture in the game. Or if you're not in the Discord, you don't even know it exists. I would love to see like that video of, hey, this is the new stuff coming to the game, boom, boom, boom. That was something that I was a really big fan of when I played RSL, that they would do that very often.
Yeah, what's next in Raid was really cool. And they had their fancy voiceover guy. No, they could just ask us content creators to be their voiceover guys. They got free labor. I
want it to occur. Look here, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and put the speaker view. This must occur, okay? You let me know. I will be the guy that had way too much caffeine that morning. Every time I record, it will occur.
I like it.
There's more, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna honor y'all's time. I want to also honor Ivy's time because she is also running stuff for Fateless Gaming, and she's a mom, and she's a wife. She's kicking butt. So I can't say, hey, hang out with me for 3 hours, because it'll occur for me, it shouldn't occur for others. Ivy, I can't thank you enough for this opportunity. Is there anything that you want to tell the audience that they may not know, or just thanks for making the content with me? It's been awesome.
I'm trying to have some fun with the Epic Challenge. I want to put out some more like the early game videos. So I do plan to put out a video on like all the stage 13s of the gear raids, because how often do you really find that? Like a new player coming into the game is searching for like how to do gear raid. Oh, 21. I'm not there yet. It's, you know, it's, I feel like I want to put out some of those earlier game guides with the whole Epic Challenge. That was why I did it. So hoping I can get some of those out soon and cater to the early people.
Yeah, see, I'm glad you said that, because the majority of the player base is like 1 to 3 months. So like to say like the super
true.
in-game
How many
stuff,
people make it to that point? Yeah.
Yeah, so I like that this challenge is going. I also love that you're doing it, and it's going strong. Like there's a lot of content creators actively playing it or live streaming it and stuff. I think that's really cool for the community. You have your pick on who's live for the day. Y'all look forward to it, especially for y'all newer players who may not know a whole bunch about the game. Walk through it with the content creators that exist out here. They're making it easy for you by saying, hey, you don't need the legendary champions to get where I'm at. I think that's pretty dope. I must say it's awesome. This has been Mortar Mike, and this has also been Ivy over here. I know where to point this time. I do hope that y'all have enjoyed this video. If you don't know who Ivy is, let me just be honest with you. It is time to go to that channel and click the subscribe button, because you do know who it is. Let's be clear. I appreciate you. I appreciate you all. I hope you have an awesome time, and I will see you all soon. Take care. Peace.